Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Mosby. Thanks for joining us for our Second Chance Sunday. You know this show by now, our weekly look back at some of the best deals from the week, done in a chart style countdown. Now this is the point where normally I'll go, let's get into the top 10. Except we can't do that this week because the first of the deals we were going to do has actually sold out. That's how busy it's been this week. So for the first time ever, let's get into the top 9. This week's number 9, we go back to Cartload on Thursday, which I hear was an exceptional show. Leanne on her own. And I want to say that's probably the first time ever, isn't it? A solo Cartload show, and it was super busy. Well, I'm not surprised when you see prices like this. This is number 9, the seasonal creator card stamp and die set, 5-piece collection. And these are just a little bit different, actually. Not kind of creator cards, perhaps, as you know them, but just a lovely set of dies that you can use together to create a beautiful sentiment in stamp and die form. And then you've got other dies to kind of decorate them up with. So in this case, with the With Love, you've got the With, which you can cut into your cardstock. Of course, you'll have all of the letters there in waste as well, which you can paper piece back in if you want to. There's your Love. And then on this little set here, you've got all of the beautiful foliage and florals, and you've got your stamp, which is now and always. So you think to yourself, all right, stamp and die set, £11.20, £15.20, but then you're also going to get your happy birthday in there as well. So once again, you've got that die that's going to cut in that sentiment in block capitals. You've got your cursive little birthday there. Hope it's the best yet in stamp form, and then a load of florals. So 2 for that price is incredible. 3 sets for that price becomes a little bit bonkers. 4 just becomes absolutely ridiculous, and I love this one. Many congrats, super usable. You've got your bunting in there, the stars as well. Your sentiment is you did it. And then when we throw a 5th and final one in, you think to yourself, we've lost the plot, haven't we? Absolutely lost the plot. You're going to get Special Friend in there as well. That's got butterflies and more beautiful florals, and your stamp sentiment there is you're loved. £11.20 for all of that if you're a Platinum member, or $15.20 if you're shopping in the US and you're Platinum. Simply a ridiculous deal. No wonder it was so busy on Cartload on Thursday. Not a lot of stock left, as you will imagine. So if you want to pick that up, the seasonal creator card stamp and die 5-piece collection, do it now. That is this week's number 9. This week's number 8. I'm not surprised, having found out how busy Cartload was, that a lot of the deals in the top 10 this week are from Cartload. This next deal is quite simply ridiculous. Now, you're going to get 2 lots of your paper pad thrown in here, which is great, right? So 30 sheets of our premium pencil pad, £9.99 each. I kind of disregard that. That's a bit of a Brucey bonus, if you like, that's added into this bundle. But let's talk for a minute about the price that you've got here and the fact that you are getting not 1, not 2, but 3 sets of our artist quality Aqua blend pencils. Premium professional quality that you are getting here for an unbelievable price. As I say, if you disregard the fact that we are giving you the paper pads, the 2 paper pads, if you're Platinum, this works out at £12, doesn't it, per tin, which is absolutely bonkers. In each tin, you have got 24 of our beautiful, top-notch, top-grade watercolour pencils, which of course you can pop onto your watercolour cardstock, bring out your paintbrush and your water and draw all of that colour out. It's your opportunity to try watercolour, I think, at this unbelievable price. Maybe get the kids into it as well. I wouldn't normally say that, you know, for something so premium and so professional, but when you've got this sort of price, then this is the opportunity to be able to do that. And of course, if you're someone who already uses the Aqua Blend pencils, what an opportunity to stock up on them. Now, you're going to get the Portraits collection here, and you know what? These aren't, if you're looking at these and thinking, are these new pencils? They're not new pencils, just reconfigured in these new tins. And I think it sort of makes it a little bit more easy for you to know that, you know, if you do need one for your skin tone, your hair colour, then you can reach for the Portrait collection. You've got all of these different colour skin blends and hair blends. Yeah, you've got some greens and purples and blues in there as well. You're then also going to receive your 24 pencil set landscape collection. Worth bearing in mind as well, as I just flip this around for you and show you all the colours. Again, landscape collection, you can see that you've got more of your greens in there for the countryside, the browns, the blues for the skies. Keep these in your tins, top tipped. Make sure that you are, you're not popping these into pencil cases or dispersing these into buddy bags. Keep them in their tins to sort of protect the longevity of your pencils. And then you're also going to get the Essentials collection as well, which which is more of your sort of primary colours, if you like. When you think here, you've got 72 pencils across the set, but actually, when you consider the gradation of colour that you can achieve with the addition of your water, the mixing that you can do with these as well, how many colours essentially have you actually got across this collection? Great gift idea for somebody with Easter very much on the horizon now as well. I know I keep hammering home this point, but instead of buying chocolates this year and eggs and wasting your money on that, why not spend and get a beautiful set of Aqua Blend pencils at an unbelievable price? And also, don't forget, for that price tag of £36 or $48, you will get 2 of your paper pads thrown in as well. Quite simply, one of the best deals of the week. I can't believe it's not higher, but it is our Aqua Blend pencil collection with the paper at this week's number 8. This week's number 7 is our brilliant Easter collection. We go back to Wake Up Call on Thursday for a demo with Debbie. This is such a brilliant collection and all of the components are still available for you. If you want something with a little bit more of a religious connotation, you've got it. And if you want the cutesy side of things, you've got it as well. So let's have a look at this demo with Debbie from Thursday.
The Easter collection is such a special collection, and I'm going to be using those really cute Easter friends. So we're going to use the lamb because I thought we'd start with one that's really simple to do because a lamb is white. So we're just going to add a little bit of sort of beige into that and some pink. Then we're going to use that gorgeous Easter basket. Now the Easter basket, when you use it with a bunny, will look like this. How cute is that? This one we did make on launch day, so you can actually see the bunny jumping into there. But we're actually going to use the lamb in the basket because I thought it worked really well. So let's start off with the lamb and stamp him out, or her out, whichever one is. And it's such a lovely design. I like them because of their size. They're a really nice size, not too small, not too big. So we've just got a piece of white cardstock we're just going to place onto our mat, pop our lamb down, and then we're going to stamp. Now, because I'm using our alcohol pens and I'm going to be using our red brown blend and the pale pink blend, because we're using our alcohol pens, we do want to use our alcohol proof. Oh, that's water I've got, so let me just grab the next one. There we go. So it says on the tin, alcohol proof dye. So make sure you use the right dye. If you are watercolouring, then use watercolour cardstock and also use your waterproof ink pad. So just making sure we've got plenty of ink down on our little lamb. Push that down and then you get this gorgeous print. Look at that. First time, absolutely gorgeous. So we'll pop that to the side. Now, nice and easy, let's just grab a piece of card just to pop underneath it. And then all I'm going to use with the red-brown blend is the lightest colour. And what I love about this is where you can see all the little, it's already done for us. So where there's those little markings, where the wall sort of crinkles, we're just going to put our colour around there. Now you could use grey, but I just wanted, because it was an Easter card, I just thought it'd be nice to have a little bit of beige running through that wall.
It's warmer, isn't it?
Yes, it is warmer, yeah, absolutely. And I'm a big fan. It's one that doesn't get used very often, but I love the red-brown blend. I think it's a beautiful colour. And then we're just going to come under the eyes, nose.
Isn't it lovely seeing all the little lambs jumping about in the field at this time of year? I love it so much.
So nice. They're so cute, aren't they? And you can, if you catch them right on the farms, you can feed the lambs, can't you, with bottles? So it's just finding that right time when they're ready. So just a small amount. I'm not going to worry too much about the feet actually, because you're not going to see that because we're going to put the lamb into the basket. And then with the pink, we're just going to use the lightest colour of the pink just to put into the ears. In fact, I'm going to go in with a little bit darker there, just on the tip of his nose, a little bit more in his ears. And then just like as if he's got a little tongue there. There we go, look how cute that is.
It's cute.
And then the best thing about it, Leanne, is that we have a die to cut it out, which is amazing. I mean, I am quite a big fan of fussy cutting now, but if we've got a die, then even better.
We're going to use it. Yeah.
Definitely. Now, just use a little bit of tack, low tack tape. And also, the best thing about these is all of them will fit through your Gemini Mini. So nice and easy. Just put a tiny piece there. And what I love about an outline die when a company does them good, like we do, you can see the whole outline, which means you're going to get that perfect cut every single time. So I'm going to trim my card down a tiny little bit because I've probably made it just a tad bigger than the 3 inches. Pop that into your folder, fold it on in half, and that's the simplest thing with a Gemini Mini.
It is, isn't it? So quick and simple.
I love it. It's one of my favourite machines is the Gemini Mini. It's the one I probably use the most, more than the bigger Gemini.
Yes, I think I agree with you on that,
yeah.
because it's just so easy to whiz it through. And when it's just a plain outline like that or a simple die, why not? And, you know, I keep my Gemini 2 for the real workhorse things that I want to do, or the larger concept cards.
Absolutely.
And I just whiz everything else through the Mini.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's such a good machine. And it means all your little scrap pieces of card that you've got are going to fit for these. Now, when you're doing the basket, this is the bottom of the basket. I love the fact that it's got this sort of detail in there. These don't cut out. They are going to sort of, you can emboss them. And actually a nice little trick, let me just grab another little piece of card, because if you put an extra piece of card through, what's going to happen is it's going to emboss that detail. It's how you get around not having a folder of rubber shim through your machine. So if you put double the amount of card, it won't cut the bottom piece out fully, but it will emboss the
deeper.
Yeah, deeper into there. So we're just going to place that one inside here like so. And then once that comes out the other side, that will cut that top layer. But also what I want to do is we're going to just be very careful so that doesn't move. I'm going to take some ink. So I've got my seal brown here.
Nice.
Just a little dauber and just ink through there, because this acts as a stencil as well. And it's going to give you that beautiful basket weave, but you're also going to get it slightly embossed. So
now, if you want this showstopper, it's available, isn't it, now in the what Debbie's crafting with. But if you do want to get yourself up to the website, look at that, isn't that beautiful?
So nice.
I really love that, Debbie. If you want to go and get yourself to the website when you look at the showstopper and have a look at all of the deals we've got on there ready for our cart load, you can shop the day, and you'll be able to see all of those deals in advance of us showing them to you, so you can be ahead of the game if you like.
Amazing. Right, now we've got 2 parts here, which is our basket handle and the brim of the basket as well. So we're just going to run those ones through. Now, if you wanted to cut all these pieces out in one go, then obviously use your bigger Gemini machine. I'm just showing you how easy it is to pop them through your Gemini to get all these parts. So we've got our basket here. Your basket itself will have your handles at the back. So all we're going to do is put a tiny little bit of glue on the bottom. In fact, I'm just going to take them just here, like so. And then that way we can just bring that in. Hover that one onto the side, like so, and then onto the opposite side. And then you've got your basket there. And then this piece is going to go on the top. So I'm just going to use that one just to put my dots to stop that going on my craft mat, like so. Your dotty tape pen will be your absolute best friend with these little dies. It's fabulous. And that will go across the top. Just do that a little bit more, like so. So it's just making it all look that little bit more real. And then what I've also got, you've got another smaller strip and you've got a bow somewhere on there. There it is, just there, which I've already cut out. So we're going to add those on.
It's the little finishing details that make all the difference, isn't it?
They really make all the difference, yes. And if you're crafting, especially Easter crafting with the kids, imagine cutting out all these pieces and just being able to make their own little Easter basket. It's just super cute, looks amazing, the kids will love it. And actually, Leanne, I say the kids, you could be crafting with your neighbour, with your mum, you know, in a craft group. These are all the sorts of dies that are going to, I mean, look how cute that little basket looks.
So cute.
Yeah, so amazing. With the Easter collection, you've got little eggs in one of the other sets. You could fill the basket with your Easter eggs, which is going to look lovely. But we're going to use our lamb. So before I do any more, let's bring in all my elements for my card. Now, what I have used with this is the papers that come with the balloon sentiments, because you can see they're all those pastel colours. And the only reason I used them instead of the Easter ones is because I didn't have it at hand, the pad at home, when I was prepping. You know, I'm a lover of my nesting dies, so all I've done is my card blanks. I've used a normal card blank, which is 7 by 7. We've then used our craft card, which we're going to just place on the top. I like to do lots of layers. I like to tie in sort of colour combinations. So because we had the Easter basket, which was craft card, it's nice then to tie in that edge and have a frame to follow in with that basket. So just like so. And then with this one, all I did was put some of my linen cardstock on the back, the papers on the top. You can do this with your Easter papers as well. And then I die cut my middle section. I also then made this one to fit inside that one, so it just creates a nice little frame. And this just adds interest to your cards. I'm a real big lover of drawing your eye into what you want the focal point to be. And making extra sort of embellishments around the edges, but still keeping your eye on what that main focus is, which is obviously going to be our lamb in that basket. So once we've done all that, I'm going to just use my scoring tool to make sure we really burnish that down. Then nothing will come unstuck. And then we're going to do the same with this one. So let me just use our dotty tape pen to go around the edges. This pad, you'll find it on the website. I know it's not on the show today, but it's going to work beautifully with the Easter collection.
Yes.
Because of all those pastel colours.
Yes.
So
Debbie,
it's
can
nice
I ask you a question
difference.
about that frame? Because I think I know what you've done just before you stick it down.
Yes.
I think when you've cut that out, you've then put another die in the centre to make that frame because it's got the paper on the back.
Yes.
So you haven't wasted anything.
I haven't wasted anything.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Just when you were putting the glue on, I could see you've got the paper on the back. So I wonder if that's the waste you've cut out and then you've just cut into the centre in the middle, turning it round to get the contrast of the frame.
Absolutely.
Such a clever, frugal use of your paper.
Yeah, because we tend to, and because they're double-sided, it makes them sort of more usable, and they're going to really match. And then we're going to turn that round to pop that on the inside. So that's going to just.
And you know what? You could do that a couple of times, and then you could turn the paper, the card, and you could get it. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
And you're not wasting anything.
Not wasting anything at all. Yeah. And you're making that focal point for your centre of your card.
I love that.
So I then just cut out a white piece to tie in with the white round the edges. So we're trying to match all of these ones in. So we're going to pop this one in. And then I thought, rather than have something that's central, let's do a little bit of a difference. So I brought in another one of the papers. So we'll pop that there. And then we've got a dotty one here. So this is another one from those pages. And I thought we'd have this coming off the page a little bit. So I'm going to use some foam pads for this one because I think just having a little bit of dimension. So let's just bring all these in. I am one of these people that when I get a new pad or a paper pad, I'm always trying to do different things with it.
Yeah.
Same with the one we had yesterday, those new textured papers. It's really nice to use your offcuts, but it's also nice to use those main pages and really be creative with them. And there's so many different designs that you can be doing with your papers. So we're just going to place that one like so.
Lovely.
And then we've got our lamb. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use this one with our 3D glue gel. One of my absolute favourite glues. I love this because it's touch dry in an hour. Leave it overnight though to set fully, especially if you're sending it to anyone. And obviously it would make your card a bit thicker. So think about postage. So if you're posting something, then lay everything flat or put it on foam pads. But it's an amazing glue because it dries clear, but gives you that. Oh, this is a brand new one and it's very stiff. Oh, there we go. And we're just going to place that first of all onto this section.
I love the collal glue as well, the 3D glue gel.
Yes.
I have fixed a stiletto shoe, my shower, my bread bin, a caravan awning, a caravan window and an electric light globe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's so good. I mean, it's fantastic for crafting, but it's just a great glue to have in the house as well.
It certainly is. So we're just going to place our little lamb in the basket like that. Let's push him down a little bit more. There we go. Like so. How cute. Does he look in that basket?
Very cute.
Right, now, just because of time, I've got all these extra pieces and you've got all these additional little foliage, flowers, all these sort of pieces. Now, I do have some cut out rather than cut them all
Great.
out. So if I just bring these over so you can see them.
Yes.
And the reason I also like the 3D glue gel is you can now just poke these to where you want them, because you've got that glue in there.
Yes.
And we've also got some, I've put some behind the lamp, so they're all going to stick in there. So let's just pop some where we want them, just like so. Pop that behind his ear.
It literally looks like he's just gone and climbed into a basket that he shouldn't have climbed into.
Exactly.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
It's been a cheeky little lamb.
It absolutely is. So we're just going to put some of this extra foliage about. So it does look like that. It looks like, oh, I'm being naughty. I'm in this little basket. And then all we're going to do here is we've just got some little ones of the flowers. We're just going to use, again, just put a little globule of our flowers. We can pop those about on the basket. It's a really, I love having a craft that really sort of is quite mindful, where you're just enjoying what you're doing, enjoying the creativity. I actually like little dies that you can really play with.
Yes.
And this is just an amazing collection for that. And the kids will absolutely, I mean, can you imagine the kids putting all their little animals in the baskets, their little chick, and
oh, they'll absolutely
just
adore
putting
it,
them
Debbie.
wherever.
They will.
They'll love it.
And we've got so much love coming through for this demonstration, but most importantly, PB Brewer love to create, and Anita Webber all say they hope you're feeling better soon and sending you lots of love, Debbie.
Oh, thank you very much. It's not very nice. I haven't had an ear infection for such a long time. You forget how it wipes you out. It really does.
You really do.
And it catches you when you least expect it. You suddenly get that pain and you're like, oh.
I know, it's stabbing. That's I had some time off last week and I was looking after my granddaughters, and Ada had a ear.
Oh, it's not nice.
Yeah, and it's so, you can't get away from the pain, can you?
Yeah,
It's
you
one of the
can't.
worst pains.
Yeah.
So it goes along with toothache, I think. Anything in that area,
Yes, yeah.
you just can't get away from it.
And I can normally cope, but I think with not sleeping, it really kept me awake last night. You know, we just keep getting those stabbing pains. And I knew when it started going into my jaw that was when it was getting bad. So, but I am one of these people, I just say, oh, just get through it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Right, I'm going to just use a bow. So we've used that Thinking of You this Easter, which is one of the sentiments in that collection. And then a nice little pretty bow just to go on there. But look at that for a really pretty card with our lamb in our basket. And if I just bring this one in as well, just to show you the difference. So if you're doing the bunny in the basket, you've got that bunny butt jumping through, and then you've got the lamb.
This week's number 6, we go back to Wednesday for Beautiful Beginnings, our Back to Basics show, where hopefully we take things which you might think are complicated and make it easier for you. And certainly this next deal does just that. Paper pleating, which can be quite a fiddly thing to do, a difficult thing to do to achieve something like this. I mean, how cool is that rosette? How brilliant is this card here with the beautiful heart? How stunning is this project here? Made by Marie, with that beautiful star. We've got stars, we've got florals, we've got rosettes, we've got hearts, and yet you'd be forgiven looking at that and thinking, well, there's no way I could achieve that. It's going to be fiddly, it's going to be faffy, it's going to be very, very difficult to do. That is where you're wrong, because we've got our paper pleating collection, which makes it nice and easy. I always kind of, whenever we have this on shows, I always think back to when we did things like the iris folding, something which you guys said was always quite difficult to do, and then we came up with a solution and made it easy. Things like the Touch of Sparkle collection, something that's quite faffy, difficult, fiddly to do, we made it easy. And it's the same with the paper pleating collection. What you're going to get in here is all of your elements to be able to create beautiful pleats like that very, very simply and easily. 3 folders that you are going to get, which is going to allow you to create the pleats in different widths. So you've got kind of total customization when it comes to the actual pleating themselves, and then you get all of the templates as well. So quite simply, you're going to choose what you want to be working with, because we've got leaves of all different varieties, and like I showed you just very briefly there, you'll see we've got stars, we've got florals, we've got hearts in there too. And what you'll find with all of these, so this one could be a star, could be a floral, you've got the templates there to be able to cut those out, and then you pop them through your pleaters, and then you can make these very, very quickly and easily. In the majority of cases here, like with the heart, you're going to get 3 different sizes. So again, you can choose the size of your heart, you can choose the size of your florals, and it's just made really simply. All of this foliage, you've got your beautiful rosette in there as well. So again, you choose the sizes that you want to work with. There's the butterfly. That's in 2 parts, but again, you've got 3 different sizes to choose from. All these various flowers as well. So again, you're going to get actually a 30-sheet card pad with this, but you can choose the papers that you want to work with. If there's a specific theme that you want to work to, again, you can just get the papers that you've already got in your craft room out and ready to go. For 20 quid, you get all of that, which is a 34-piece set. You also get, I can't actually believe this, you're going to get your paper pleating pad with this as well, aren't you? Is that correct? Yeah. So you've got your paper pleating pad. And as I say, you know, you can use this straight away because you've got all the colours in there for your florals and your foliage as well. And then on top of that, you will also receive, oh, if I didn't drop it on the floor, you will also receive your punches. 3 of those as well. This is absolutely ridiculous. So you've got this one here, which is your beautiful heart. You've then also got your little circle. And then last, but by no means least, you've got the star in there as well. So you'll see actually on some of the boards that we've used those little punches to go in the centre of the flowers, is like the stamens, for example. But, you know, if you just want a little embellishment, whether it be the star, whether it be the circle, or indeed, whether it be the beautiful heart there, it's entirely up to you. So a 34-piece paper pleating set, 3 punches, and a paper pad for 20 quid. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. $26.40 if you're shopping in the US. Snap it up. It is a brilliant deal, and that is why that is this week's number 6. This week's number 5 is our National Craft Month Grande Finale bag. Grande Finale bag. This, of course, was back to Cartload on Thursday. My goodness me, no wonder this show was so busy. Leanne literally had the best deals of the whole week, didn't she? I know her game. I'll do it on my own and I'll have all the best deals. I'll take all the credit. It is a brilliant, brilliant price, this though. £44 or $52. You obviously don't get the bag, but you're going to get all of the content. And the value of this is tremendous. We're only popping in one of the must-have tools, which our guys go on about all the time. An absolute must-have is our paper trimmer. Cuts up to 2 sheets of your 180 GSM cardstock in one go, and it's got your 3x12 capacity. Craig's favourite tool in the world ever. So you're paying for that. You're also going to get a 2-piece die set from the Christmas Rose collection, which is that beautiful Christmas wreath, a stunning frame, which, yeah, I mean, obviously with the Christmas collection, but I think you'll be able to work that into lots and lots of different projects. And then you're also going to get a set of our vellum washi rolls as well, the silver sentiments. Now, that there is all you're paying for, right? That's your value. So I'll pop that to one side. I'm going to tip this over, and I'm going to delve in and show you all of your free stuff, right? Oh, there's those bits I dropped in there earlier on. You don't get those, but you do get the Thankful and Blessed Thankful stamp and die set. So that is a 9-piece collection. Really nice for the fact that you've got your Thankful in die form, and then you've got a whole host of little stamps to build up your sentiments with. You're then also going to get your embellishment and charms from that same collection. It's a 10-piece set, and you've got all of these different beautiful leaves and foliage in different sizes. Then you're going to get stencils. Ooh, that's a big one. You've got the Witching Night set. These on their own, a tenner. So you've got all of the witches on there, you've got the spooky cats as well, and what you get, if I flip that around, you've got your big 8x8 stencil, you've got your border stencil, and then you've got your little icon in there as well. So that's a tenner, that's free. Also from the same collection, you've got your Harvest Glory. So again, you get your big 8x8, you've got your icon in there, and you've also got your border stencil in there too. But I'm still going, because then you're also going to get one of our fantastic animal stamp and die sets, the Woodland Explorer. So you've got that owl there and the sentiment which says have a hoot on your birthday. That's free. Also for free, you've got a super cute with Love stamp set. This was from the Lovebirds collection. Flip that around, you can see the two little birdies there with the biggest hearts ever, and then the die to be able to cut those out. That's free. You're also going to get a stamp set from the Sheena Mother Earth collection. That is for free. If you loved our tropical collection from the Trends, you've got the Lost in Paradise embossing folder, which is coming to you for free. You've also got another embossing folder in here, 3D embossing folder this time, sparkling snowflakes, get you ready for Christmas 2025. What the rocker blocks? The clear rocker blocks in here for absolutely nothing. Only one of the best stamping mediums that we do, and you're getting that for free within the bundle. You're also going to get your Violet Studio paper pad. So this is a metallic colours, 18 sheets you're getting in here in all of those stunning colours, done in like a sort of satin finish, if you like. But that is included in your bag for absolutely nothing. Free, gratis, nada, nix. Is that all? No, there's tons more in here. Corner punch. That one is, what is that going to give you? A decorative punch, that one. You've also got a set of dies from our beautiful frames collection. So this one is Happy Father's Day. So what you get actually is the die there, and it cuts out little top hats, and you've got a little monocle in there as well. And then you can pop your sentiment into the frame. So you've got Top Bloke, Happy Father's Day, and Best Dad. Also for free, always very handy, Dotty tape pen. I've been using these quite a lot recently, but for any of your intricate sticks, that is absolutely perfect. 22 metres, 72 feet a stick. We've got some pearls in here as well. Beautiful pearls. Little pot. You've also got one of our shimmer sprays. No wonder this was Leanne's show. Her absolute favourite colour, the Royal Velvet. Then you've got a pot of our chunky glitter paste in here too. So if you were watching Beautiful Beginnings earlier in the week, you will be a glitter paste master, no doubt. So you can try that out. That is the Hibiscus. You're also going to get the Deco Fan Corner Punch. There's still more in here. This is ridiculous. You've got a set of ribbon, lace ribbon from the Christmas Rose collection. And then last but by no means least, you have got the Toulouse strip border die. And if you're thinking, oh, I want some more, please, you are going to get 80 bonus points on top of all of that. That is just a pile of crafty loveliness that we love to call our National Craft Month grand finale bag. Is 44 quid for all of that, or 52 bucks. Go swiftly though, because I know stocks are not big on that at all. So get in nice and swiftly, and you have bagged yourself an absolute bargain at number 5. This week's number 4 is, well, it's a deal that shouldn't be on as far as I'm concerned, because we had this on 60-minute deals back on Tuesday, which is supposed to be for 60 minutes only. But I know Leanne's game. Yeah, she pulled a few strings, didn't she? And she got this back on Cartload, and no wonder it was flying out the door. This was one of the deals from that 60-minute show, and then I know one of the deals from Cartload as well. Essentially, you're going to get 3 of our amazing Pro Colour art kits, but you're only going to pay for 1. The deal on this is absolutely ridiculous, and I would look at this in a multitude of ways. Again, if you're thinking about Easter, maybe you've got kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, and you want to be able to get them something a little bit different this year. Save paying, and this isn't over-exaggerating, is it? Easter eggs now, £10 for a big Easter egg. I mean, it's just bonkers. For $23.99, you can get them 3 absolutely fantastic colouring kits, which I think they're going to get more out of than just a big blooming Easter egg. But what you get in each one of these is all of your papers. You get a ton of pens as well. So in this first one, which is your Celestial Maiden, so let's say for argument's sake you're paying for this one, you are going to get a whole host of our illustrators, a whole host of our classiques, an art liner pen, and then all of the artwork to work with too. And what he said is, if you're buying this for the kids, brilliant. If you're buying this for yourself to learn how to colour with your alcohol markers, maybe to try illustrators for the first time, maybe try our classics for the first time, brilliant. But if you are someone who just loves colouring with alcohol markers, you love illustrators, and you love your classiques, you're not too fussed about the artwork, for the price that you're paying, I would just even say to yourself, well, someone messaged the other day and said they didn't like the artwork, so they just turned it over and used it as cardstock. For that price, I think you can absolutely do that. But listen, it is a brilliant, brilliant set. In here, as I say, you're going to get 5 illustrators, you're going to get your 5 classics and your art liner, and then you get all of the artwork here in both grey and your black. Now, that's your Celestial Maidens in that sort of manga style. You've then got the Way of the Samurai. Once again, you get 5 illustrators, 5 classics, and you get your art liner marker, plus all of this fantastic artwork doubled up. You also get a little leaflet in there as well. So if you are kind of new to our alcohol markers, tells you how to get the very best out of them, talks a little bit about blending and all that kind of stuff. So that's your second one, which we're basically giving to you for free. And then the last one is the Adventures in Colour. And again, you get another set of our amazing illustrators alongside those classics as well. So you get the best of all worlds here as far as the pens are concerned. You've got that beautiful Japanese brush nib in your illustrators and your fine tip. And then you've also got in the classics that stunning chisel nib, again with an ultra fine tip. And then you've got all of this artwork to work with as well. Quite simply, one of the deals of the week. Leanne brought it back on Cartload, and you have got another bite of the cherry to grab that. If you missed out, grab it whilst you can, because I feel like this is a deal that is not going to be repeated. It is £23.99 your platinum price if you're in the UK. If you're in the US, it's £31.99. And I know it's not this week's number one, but as far as I'm concerned, that is one of the deals of the week. This week's number 3, we get all sparkly with a brilliant collection of glitter pastes. We go back to Wednesday with Debbie Fisher. Beautiful Beginnings, our Back to Basics show. Always a good one to tune in for if you want to kind of refresh your memory on various crafty bits and pieces, or indeed find out new things for the first time. And this is a brilliant demo with Debbie from Wednesday on those glitter pastes.
I love glitter paste, and I'm going to show you something a little bit different. So we've got our knife, our spatula. You can get these in 3 different, well there's 3 in a pack, but 2 different sort of shapes of them. Lily's got the other one and she'll show you that in a second. They are brilliant for anything that you want to put through a stencil, and especially your glitter paste. And your glitter pastes are like this, so they're just a whole pot of shiny, sparkly goodness, which are beautiful and really lovely. It's almost like a sort of a soft putty that you're putting through, and it's just lovely to use. And the best thing about them is when they dry, it dries like it's crystals on your cardstock. Now, because of the pigment in the sparkles, it means that they go onto dark and light cardstock. So you can see here, what I've done is I've put a piece of card together in black and white. I've just taped it at the back, just so I can show you what it looks like on both a black and a white piece. And then I'm going to pop this inside. It's slightly smaller than my actual stencil. So I'm going to turn that over, and then I like to put a little bit of tape just on the top. So across the top here, like so. And that will hold it in place. That will also now act as a hinge if I did want to just see if I've missed it. Oh, I didn't. No, I missed the tape.
Oh, no. Oh,
that's
dear.
funny. That's typical me.
Can I come and pinch some low-tack tape?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I'll come and grab a roll. I'm very underprepared here.
There we go.
Not
So
even
just
got
pop
my
that
tape.
back again. We'll try that again. We'll actually tape
Take
it
2.
to there. Yes, let's hit the stencil. There we go. No, not hitting the stencil that time. I'm going to put it across there as well. Right, so then when you open it up, you've got then your hinge underneath. Right, now I've decided to go with 2 different colours and mix our colours as well. So let's start off with the blue. And all you're going to do is put this into here, but you want to use the back of your knife. So it's a case of just scraping some on. Don't need loads, you can see that's only sort of a dollop really of your glitter, and absolutely beautiful. Lily, how are you going over there? What stencil have you got that you're going
So I have
through?
got, mine is the lovely Art Deco, I think. So I've got my Art Deco. My cardstock's a
nice.
bit bigger than yours, Debbie. I've done my head. I've not got an overhead over here. Blimey me. Oh, I can't even get crafty. I've got to show you guys first. How very rude. So I've got my cardstock there, a little bit larger than yours, Debbie, but I suppose I could always cut mine down afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm good to go, I think. I've only got one colour, but
amazing.
one colour it is.
Yes, definitely. Right, so all we're going to do now is put your paste onto your stencil like that. So you can see it's almost come off of there. And then using the flatness of your tool, you're going to just pull that down. So you don't want, if you go like this, you're going to drag underneath the stencil and you'll get sort of splodges. So it's always good to try and keep your tool as flat as possible, or spatula, whatever you want to call it. So we're just going to put some more here. I'm not going to use too much. I'm going to put some down here.
And if you are wanting to grab some of these tools, I know we've got the palette knives over on the shop of the day, so if you're wanting to sort of start your glitter paste journey like I'm pretending I am now, you can get all those tools as well as those gorgeous glitter pastes over on the website.
So we're just going to carry on putting some through there. Once you've filled where you want that to go, because we want to put a different colour, we're going to take that excess and just put that back in the pot. Now, what I would recommend is even though you've got this seal on, when you pop that back on top, just put a little bit of cling film on the top as well.
Okay.
And make it a little bit more airtight. And then that will keep the longevity of your pot because they can dry up if you don't make sure that that is completely sealed. So a little bit of cling film inside, wrap that in there, and that will make sure that you get the length out of that. Now, I am just going to grab myself a piece of kitchen towel because I want to wipe that blue off of my tool, because if I put the blue then back in the pot, all that's going to do is add blue into this pot now, and I don't want to contaminate with the different colours. So all I'm going to do now is go now to the place where I haven't been. I'm not worried about crossing over onto here because that mixture of colour is just going to look beautiful all the way through. How are you doing over there, Lily?
Well, I've only got my one colour, but I have to say, Debbie, I found something really quite therapeutic about just spreading the glitter paste. Are you the same? I love it. I could do this all day.
Yeah, me too. I could do it all day, yes. Do you know what, Lily? The best thing that I did, which I absolutely love with it, was put it on a mirror.
Oh, nice.
And it went on so beautifully, and I thought, what a lovely piece of decor for the home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, so nice.
But so inexpensive as well. I mean, you can pick up a mirror sort of from a charity shop or somewhere like that and just jazz it up with this. Be gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great gift.
A very nice gift. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, Lily. A really good gift to get for somebody. A new craft where you don't need an expensive machine or any stamping platforms or inks. You literally just your glitters and your stencil and you're ready to go. Absolutely. So again, just going to pop that over, pop my lid on. And I'm also going to wipe the tool again, because if you don't wipe your tools quite quickly, they dry to the touch quite quick. But I would say give it a good few hours to completely dry. Now I'm ready to take mine off. So once we've got all that down, all we're going to do is literally lift that up, and you can see just how beautiful that looks.
Wow.
Not only on black cardstock, I mean, how amazing is that, but on white cardstock as well. It's just the most incredible thing to do. It's such a very arty thing without being artistic.
Yes.
So I'm not an illustrator, I'm not somebody who can draw, but to be able to create something that I think is a bit of a masterpiece with a stencil and your glitters, I think is incredible. Are you ready for your reveal?
I am
Lily?
ready, yes. I have to say, Debbie, I absolutely love this stencil. And look how amazing, in the pink. It had to be the
beautiful.
pink. Look at that.
So lovely. Yeah, absolutely lovely.
I mean, Nicola Maya was saying for a first time glitter paste. I think I've done pretty well for a first timer. Just forget last Thursday's show when I used glitter paste. I've never used them before. That's the first time, maybe.
Well, it looks stunning.
Thank you.
But yes, so if you want to be glittering and making everything nice and shiny and lovely, then use your glitter paste just like this, and you will get amazing results every single time.
This week's number 2, it's all about Easter again. Obviously, Easter very much on the horizon, and we've got some brilliant collections. This collection is our treat box set, your opportunity to build some really super cute treat boxes, including chicks, little lambs, the bunnies as well. And here is a brilliant demonstration from our Debbie with this amazing collection.
This is super exciting because this box is utterly gorgeous and simple to do as well. We've kept it really simple. You're getting 34 pieces in this set. If we have a look down at it, look how much you're getting in here, including all of these, which are all your dies next to me here. You've got all your different faces of all the different animals that you can be making, and I'm sure you'll find many more that you can be making as well. And then you get a template. So the template is this one here. So we've made it super simple. I've just took some of our glitter cardstock that we had in one of our pads, and I'm going to use this to make our box with. So all I'm going to do is turn it over, place this down on the side, and I'm going to use the end here and the end on here, and that way we haven't got too much cutting to do when we're cutting it out. It's just a case of placing that over, making sure we've got that down, and then use a pencil to draw around the lines. So it's that easy. I love having a stencil because the other thing you can do is you could, if you wanted to, put it through your Gemini and emboss it with your rubber embossing mat. And then you can follow the lines, and then you'll have no pencil lines to rub out afterwards. Although, because your pencil lines are on the inside, you're not going to have to worry about them showing, because they will be on their inside. And then we're just going to go around this one here, like so. Oh, didn't do that one very straight. You could, if you wanted to, use our stick and spray. That's our repositionable sort of glue, spray glue. It's the purple one, and that will hold everything in place. I'm just making sure that I'm quite careful when doing my lines, so we're holding it all in place. But actually, it'll be super simple if you did move it to put it back into place. So it's just a case of following all those lines around and having what you need. So just that last one there, and then across. And I'm putting in these holes because these add the rigidity to your box. But if you cut all the holes in, then that way they just work when you're folding them over. Right, so I think I've done all my, we've done all our drawing round. Right, once we've got to that part, and then we're just going to cut it out. So just follow those lines with the scissors. I like to sort of go up to the line so we know where that's being cut across. And we're going to just trim that one into there. There we go, so nice and easy. And these are the sort of boxes that you could be making for Easter egg treasure hunts, which are going to be super good to do with your Easter projects and your Easter cards.
And I think as well, don't get caught up with the fact that this template is in an Easter collection. It's a great template for bags for whenever, isn't it, really?
Couldn't agree more, Ben. Yeah, absolutely. So this is a case of just following all those lines. But yeah, absolutely, it could be used for anything because you've just got a really good template box here.
Yeah, you think about making little bags for Halloween maybe, or a party. You could put little sweets in there for the kids' parties or whatever. It's just a really handy little template. And as we chatted about, and as Craig showed us in the launch, obviously you can elongate your bags as well using that template, and you can make them a little bit shorter as well if you want to, just by obviously moving the template on your cardstock.
Yeah, brilliant idea. And depending on what cardstock you use, like you say, themed to any occasion.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you know what, I think you could even trim these down to make smaller bags if you wanted to, and have them for like wedding favours on on your projects. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on your wedding tables.
Yes,
right.
Lovely idea.
Once we've got to that stage, I'm going to just pop that to the side, like so. And I'm going to use that little bit. We've got a little bit, but I can use that as well. I think I've got enough, actually. I was going to say, keep some of those offcuts because we're going to do the rest. So you can see we've got our beautiful box then cut out. Now what we're going to do is put our score lines in. So you're going to bring your scoring board in here. And all we're going to do is use this black line at the top and the bottom so we know exactly where our score lines are going to go. So let's do it right to that one, to there. So you're just going to come down. I'm going to do it a couple of times to make sure we've reinforced those score lines. And we're going to do the same on all those lines.
This is where your that black line again comes into its own on your scoreboard, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I'm going to turn this one round, Ben, because this middle line, let me show you a little trick here to do that line. So I'm just going to follow that down to there and then move that round. So that this line here, we can then do the line that goes, I've done it on a different line there we go, comes round to there. Just going to move that back over, then turn it round again to that black line, and then you get that perfect indentation coming down there. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to do the same on the opposite side, so coming down onto that line like so, and then move that round to the black line, and then again on the opposite side like so, and then we'll go across the bottom to that one, and that's going to go right across the bottom there, and then we're going to do the same onto this one Just making sure that line's exactly where we need it to be, like so. Now, these little dots, before we do our folding, I've done 2 lines there, I've got to pop in. So that one
Forgot how awesome that cardstock is that you're using as well.
is so pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whenever I get a chance to use it on something, and I thought, oh, actually, it'd just be a bit different for an Easter
I feel like it's
box.
special occasion cardstock, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Then take your pokey tool, and I'm just going to pop my hole into that there.
Yeah.
So I can see exactly where that is. Because those ones are going to fold down like so. And if you've scored, can you see, and in fact, if I move my scoreboard out the way, you can sort of see that's a little bit higher. That doesn't matter, just trim that bit down. It's just where that score line has gone a little bit high. It's not going to make any difference to your actual design. Just checking that side's okay as well. And then when you've done that, Ben, let me just fold these over. So we're just going to burnish that down. What you need to do is take these little, now these are eyes and noses and cheeks, but take some of the smaller ones, and so I think it was this one here, and you can actually place them over your holes and die cut them out. And then that way you get the perfect little, almost little egg shapes that you can pop in there to have them down. And then all you're going to do is fold all of these sides in. When you're folding, just check your lines. So as long as that matches, you can see it's brilliant there. And across, now can you see just across there, that's coming off of that bit. So we're just going to move that up and just fold that down to make sure that we get that straight line. So, and that's just me either not cutting straight or my lines are a little bit out, but it's just a way, there we go. And then we've got that crisp top there to have those edges that go. So you're going to fold all of your elements there, and then you will end up with this one. So exactly the same, but I've put my little dies in the side there. And I'm also just folded all those edges in, and then the bottom piece here. So all we're going to do now is glue this together. So this piece is going to be glued onto the opposite side. So let's use, I'm using my tape pen, but it's glitter cardstock that we've got here.
Yeah.
You could use a tacky glue if you wanted to, and just hold the sides down with a little paper clip maybe, just to hold them in place. But we're just going to go in with taping this down.
And the template does allow you, again, doesn't it, to use card and paper of different GSM weight, because obviously this is a slightly heavier GSM, but you, obviously you can use your papers as well, can't you, to make the bags?
Use anything. And actually your papers are perfect because they make it into a proper little bag, which is really cool. So your sides then will come in, and then you've got your little holes here, and then you've got your base bit, which we're not going to glue yet because we're going to do this afterwards, but there's your box. I mean, how easy does your little box come together? So really cute little Easter box that you've got there. Now what we are going to do, I'm leaving it flat because we now want to decorate on the top. So you could choose which one you want to use on this, because we've got sort of the green going on here, and we've got this bit. Now this is where you bring your little dies into play. Now a great little tip on here is if you turn this over onto the back, it shows you all your 3 animals. So super easy, but that doesn't mean that you can't use your little eyes on your rabbit or your chick. You can't use your rabbit's nose onto your lamb. You can mix and match these about, but that's giving you your templates to use. The other thing, as Ben was talking about earlier, is that you can use your Gemini Mini. All of these dies fit through there, which is perfect for quick crafting, but actually crafting with the kids, Easter crafting, anything you want to do. So we've got all our cardstock here. I've got my folder for my Gemini Mini, and then we're going to do some cutting. So I just want to cut my little nose, so we're going to pick our nose here. And then we're just going to place that onto there. So I'm going to have my first one. And then I'm going to do my pink here, and we're going to have the inside of our ears. So that one and that one. And then I also want to use these ones for the cheeks as well.
Okay.
So we're doing ours a little bit funky. So we've got glittery cheeks and ears. Let's pop them in to start with. Place that down, because we're using our Gemini Mini, and literally offer it into the mouth of the machine and wind it through. So it couldn't be more simple to get those extra bits done. So that's given us our first lot there. Let's just take those out. So we've got the rabbit ears and cheeks and nose. There we go. Right, so there's our few bits that we've got. And then we're going to do the rest. So we've got our outside ears, and I thought I would use this nice cardstock, which would complement the blues that we've got going on through the design of our card. Like so. And also I want to use, there it is. I want to use this one as well to add a bit of shadow in. So let's see if we can fit both on. I think we can.
Is that the lamb's
wool,
wig?
The woolly coat. The wig.
Not the wig.
Right, so, and again, all of these fit through the Gemini. Oh, a little tip here actually, Ben. Let me just bring those in. Now, because we're using the Gemini Mini, I'm going to hold that into position. So I don't want it to move, so let's take those ears out. It won't emboss the detail, and
yeah.
I will show you actually. It will give a very faint, yeah, there's nothing there at all. There's no detail on there whatsoever. Now, because we're using the Gemini Mini, it doesn't emboss, but if you put an extra shim in, so I'm just going to grab just a piece of card,
yeah.
pop an extra card in, pop that on top,
oh, okay.
and then run it through. What that will do, that the pressure of that will act like it's pushing through where your rubber mat would normally push through. And now when we take that out, we've actually got
nice.
the embossed detail in there. Let's turn that round so you can just about see, there we go. So you've got the embossed detail in there. Right, so we're going to pop that to the side, and then we're going to, I don't need to cut another one out because I've got another one, so I've cut that in white so you can see they've got the embossed detail on that one as well. Then we've got the one here, and I've put it onto some foam pads.
Okay.
So we're just going to, that's going to act as a sort of shadow for the hair. So now what we want to do is create the face. So we're going to bring this one out, and we're going to take our faces. So you've got all your different faces. You've got your eggshell here, so that would go this way up. You've then got your chick, and you've got this one, which is going to act as your sheep. So let's pop that in. Quite appropriate, the sheep one. For Easter, isn't it? With the lamb in season and spring.
And now spring has sprung. I just love watching you do this because this is exactly like why I think this is such a good kit to share with those like younger crafters as well and get them involved, because I can just imagine you all sat around a table. I know you do with your two, don't you?
I've actually got a picture with both my granddaughters with this, making these boxes. Yeah, absolutely. Which are, yeah, they absolutely love them.
Just a great way to kind of, celebrate Easter and have a bit of fun on the lead up to Easter, creating some cute cards and boxes. Because like I said, you don't have to create the bag every time, do you? I mean, obviously you can just create the characters to pop on, cards if you want, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely that. So what we're going to do now is pop out these pieces. So these are the eyelashes. I mean, we all want eyelashes like this, don't we? So you've got one, we don't want them upside down. We don't want sad eyes.
No, not sad eyes.
And then our next one. Yeah, definitely not sad eyes at Easter. There we go. So that's our next one. And wait for it, trust the process, because you want all this to sort of come together. So we're going to have our nose in there. I mean, look how cute it's starting to look already. So all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take my tape pen, and we'll just take these ones down. So I'm just going to use a little bit of card to tape them onto. So first of all, just the eyes. Now, if you've got your little bottle of glue, tacky glue, you can absolutely do that, use that. We're just going to pop these on with our tape pen. And what I would say is if you're using your tape pen with the little dots, you want to make sure you burnish down from the back afterwards.
Right.
So,
oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and that way you just know they're not going to come away.
Yeah.
So the tape pens are really good, but only if you really burnish everything down, because it's so easy for air to get underneath and sort of work its way and move them about. So there we go, it's the nose, and then we've got some cheeks as well. So place them down. And I really wanted to show you this from scratch to show you just how easy it is to put your bag together and then to be able to make your face. And you could be crafting lots of these, and like you say, putting them onto your cards, onto
Yeah.
gift tags. You could just have a lot of fun, especially with your Easter cards. So just, oh, come off on my finger now.
Stephanie's just said the Easter treat cutouts would be cute as little refrigerator magnets as well.
Oh, I love that.
Why
yeah,
not?
That's a really nice idea. So turn that over and then just really burnish that down. And that way they won't come, bend anything, but putting things into the bag, that's not going to come away at all. Now we've got the ears, so let's use these. We're going to just pop those inside. I'm making sure I collect all my dies, so be careful not to lose them. If you do have one of our little die holders, they would be perfect to use with this collection, because you really don't want to lose any of them. I also love, Ben, that we've given you the 2 eyes, the 2 cheeks, the 2 ears.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't got to worry about cutting them a
That's
couple
it.
of times.
Do you know what as well? Fred171, great minds think alike, because I thought the same, actually. She says, if you trim the wig a bit, you can make a llama.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, that is the great thing about this. And again, we were chatting about this.
Put these on opposite things.
Yeah, when we
Never mind,
launched it, you know, you can have obviously all the creatures here you've got perfect for Easter, but new baby projects as well, you know, little baby chicks, the little lamb, you know, the rabbit, they can be used for all sorts of different projects again outside of Easter. But yeah, have fun with this. Do trim the wig, Fred, and make a llama, whatever you fancy. This is the point.
Yeah.
Wherever your imagination takes you.
So move that down a little bit. And you can sort of reposition these, but we're not going to worry too much because we've then got our hair to put over the top.
Yes.
So we're going to stick this firstly to our bag, and just make sure I've got that on a bit better there. Let's just do like so.
Is this tacky glue again then?
Sorry?
This tacky glue for the bag?
I'm still going to use tape pen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even though, because we can still burnish this down.
Yeah.
So just going to make sure we cover the whole piece. And the faces that you cut out have all been made to use within that section. So
Yes.
they're going to fit perfectly, like so. And again, just burnish that down. And make sure you do burnish it down, because that's what's going to then hold it into place. And then we're going to use this one, so to put over the top, like so. I love its curly hair.
So cute, isn't it? It's so cute.
I think I'm going to do that under the bottom bit, so to give him, there we go, that way. And again, even though I've put foam pads on there, I'm still burnishing that one down. And then we can take off our foam pads. And I wanted the foam pads because on a sheep it always looks like they've got too much hair, doesn't it? They're all big and woolly, and and actually it just shows, because when they're sheared, they're quite skinny, aren't they?
Yeah, and you get a lot of wool.
Absolutely. So let's just take those off. We can pop this one now onto the top, like so.
It's so super cute.
So cute. So once we've done that, then we can now glue our bottom pieces in, like so. So just going to pop that in, and that one down. So I'm just going to put some glue onto those side pieces. Again, I mean, tacky glue is a good one to have. So if you wanted to use tacky glue, absolutely. But I'm just using my tape pen. It's easy, and if you do sort of burnish it down, you're going to get a really good strong stick. So I'm just making sure that's all straight to go down into our box. And then on the inside, just go in with your scissors, and then you can just use them just to burnish that down underneath. And then for the actual box itself, I've got a piece of ribbon which we're just going to thread through.
Cute.
So one piece through here. And I've just put a little slant in my ribbon that makes it easy to thread through. And then another one through the other side, like so. I mean, you could use little magnets if you wanted to put inside, but I just wanted to use a little ribbon that we can then tie. And then once you've got your bow, just take those pieces, give that a little bit of a tie, and then I'm just going to use this one to snip off those ends and We've got a little bend in there, so I am going to just snip to there and on to that one.
Perfect.
There we go. And then
Look
we've
at
got
that.
our beautiful little box. There we go.
And this week's number one, probably no surprise, it is our launch way back on Monday, the Tea and Coffee collection. I really enjoyed this show actually because it made us laugh. Debbie launched this collection, someone who doesn't drink tea or coffee, but she did love this collection as you guys did, and here is a brilliant demo from that show.
Now this one is using the amazing die. It's like an oval die with the bouquet inside as well. So absolutely beautiful. So it's your green tea it's called, but a really lovely one to use. I know Mother's Day's just been and gone, but actually even Easter it'd be a great one for. And I love it because you're getting two outside, you're getting the outside edge and you're getting an inside edge and you're getting a middle edge. I'm thinking there is a new range of dies that should be made with these ones. Look at this, because sandwich between them means that you get this beautiful edge going round, but it means we can also be a little bit different with how we make our cards. So I'm going to pop these to the side. We're going to use those on our coloured cardstock in a second. And then with these ones, these were just, I used some odd bits when I was doing some other cards, and I thought these would be really good just to put together to make another card. So all I'm going to do is glue a little piece of this. So we're just going to, and I also think it's a good idea to do it, cut it afterwards. So all I'm going to do is put my two pieces together. I'm going to use my glass mat just to measure up there, and we're just going to make sure that I'm putting it on that edge like so.
Yep.
Like I say, we can cut that afterwards. So once you've stuck that together, just so it doesn't come apart, I'm just using my scoring tool just to burnish down. And then we're going to use our nesting dies. Now I want to make a frame out of our nesting dies. So this frame, I want to fit round an aperture that I'm going to cut. So I'm going to use the smallest one. We're going to take that one, place it into our card. You can decide how you want to do it. So if you're making a 6x6 card or a 5x5 card, decide where you want to place it. I'm actually just going to do a 6x4 card. So I want to place it so mostly my die is going to be cutting into the floral part. So I'm going to just pop that there, and then we're going to use some low tack tape to tape it down. So let's just take a little bit of tape there and another piece here. And this is a really nice way, Ben, of actually having our different cardstock, so you can actually get a different middle section to be able to do it. So let's pop that there, and then we'll use our part here to cut that out.
Brilliant. Like we said again, the
there we go.
paper's just so gorgeous, isn't it? And so usable for all sorts of collections.
Absolutely beautiful. And I love this paper pad because it hasn't got all of those, I mean, it would be nice if you had a paper pad that had tea and coffee on it, but actually what this is lovely for, it's got all those almost sort of tea room papers.
Papers, yeah.
Yes, a little bit Laura Ashley, I would say, some of these, especially like this floral paper. So once we've done that, then cut it to size. I mean, you can do it afterwards, but what's great about this is you've now got this great oval die. Just take off your papers there, or your tape. You've then got that as another base to use another time, but we're going to pop that to the side, and then you're just going to use this to trim out. So we're just going to take our guillotine, we're going to trim to where we want this. So whatever size your papers are, let's say we're going to do that to 3 3/4, and then we're just going to trim that down to 5 3/4. Like so. So that gives us our top to put onto our cards. So I'm going to pop that to the side for the moment, and then we're going to do some more cutting. So with our actual dies themselves, we're going to use just a sheet of our white card, and we're going to use all 3 dies now together, because what this is going to do, it's going to use that decorative die, and it's going to use those 2 cutting dies and sandwich between the 2 like so. And then again, make sure you tape that down, and then that way it won't move when you're cutting it.
Like you said though, this is just a handy set of dies to have for whatever the project really, isn't
A
it?
really handy set, yes. And what's really good about this is your middle die isn't a cut-in die.
Right.
It's actually a die that embosses. So once it's, in fact, what we will do, I'm going to put another piece of card through with it. And the reason being, once it's cut, you can take it out. But if it hasn't embossed, you would then need your rubber shim. Now, to get away with that, because sometimes it will fall out, but to get away with it, put another piece on the top. That gives it enough shim to give it that embossed detail.
Yeah.
So we're just going to pop that on the top and then run that one through. So as soon as that takes into the machine, because of that extra shim in the machine, it will just emboss all those little circular details through that. But you can use your embossing mat if you wanted to. So when we take that out, there we go, you can see, can you see all those tiny little,
Oh, yeah.
just all the way round there. I think we can perhaps just pick those up. In fact, I'm going to just bring in, let me bring that in and then we can see.
Yeah, you can
There
see
we
those.
go, so you can see all that
Perfect.
little detail coming through there. So that's all embossed into that. So that's my card blank, so we're going to use that. Pop that to the side. And then with our piece here, what I've done is put it over the top of another piece of white card, and I've just literally cut it out the middle. I'm not worried, that looks really messy. If you wanted to do it neat, you could, but you don't need to, Ben, because literally put that over the top and then you can't see your mess underneath.
Yeah.
So that's just to give me an additional frame. So when I then pop that onto our craft card like so, I've then got my circle frame, which is going to fit perfectly round that side like so. So it just creates that sort of tunnel effect. So now we're going to make our little bouquet in a teacup. So I've just got, you can see, just off cuts of cardstock that I had in my bit box. Everyone's got a bit box, so make sure you bring those little pieces of papers out to create with them. So we've got a couple of different greens because I thought it'd be nice to add some different foliage colours. So because not all foliage is the same colour green. And then we've got our teacup. And I'm going to, in fact, did I have another piece? I'm going to use this piece that I had earlier to cut my teacup out of.
It's a nice size die set again, isn't it, this, to use with your smaller machines, get the kids involved as well, get the minis
Yep.
and the middies out.
Absolutely.
Start a little, you know, crafty conveyor belt.
Yes, it's what I do with my granddaughters,
Yeah.
that's for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's pop them on there. And obviously, all of these will fit through your Gemini Mini as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, a great one for crafting with the kids, great for crafting with the grandparents, with your neighbours, with your mum.
Yeah, get them all involved.
Get them all involved, that's it, absolutely. For Easter as well, I think we tend to craft a lot over Easter, don't we? So things like this are going to be lovely. In fact, this is going to go really nice with your Easter collection that's been
Yeah.
out before as well. So let's take all those pieces. That's going to give me, now I've cut through 2 because I know my Gemini can handle that. And then I'm just going to pop out that middle piece. And that's going to cut both pieces out of those. Shows the pressure of the Gemini. It's really good cardstock. So we've got our flowers, we've got some extra leaves. There we go. And then we've got our teacup. Now your teacup does have, again, an embossed detail, but because I'm using pattern cardstock, it's not going to notice that much with the heart. So I'm just going to leave that as just a nice, pretty sort of, it reminds me of a real English teacup, like from a tea service.
Yes, yeah, exactly right. Like a old-fashioned tea service, yeah.
My mum used to have English rose, old country rose.
All right.
Old country rose china. And I think I might have told you this story before, but she used to, it's the only time we could eat off the plates and the cups because they used to be on the wall, mounted on the wall.
Oh,
We used to take
yes.
them off the wall and, yeah, and have them from the wall. And it's the only time we didn't have to wash up after dinner because my mum was frightened we'd break her plates.
My
So-
nan had a set of plates exactly the same. Yeah, that's just popped back into my head, like hung on the wall and like on display.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or like locked away in a cabinet. She'd have like the very special
absolutely,
teacups and
yeah.
plates for special occasions.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
a special cutlery box as well.
Yes, we have one of those
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Now it's a free-for-all in the drawers.
Exactly right. Whatever you can find.
So I've got some extras that I've already cut out. If you wanted to, the little bits that come out, you could put them into the different parts. So you could have your peach colour into your lilac and vice versa. And then I've just cut a white one out of my cup up as well, just to give this a little bit more of a shadow, but also give it a bit more depth. So we're just going to add that on, and then we're going to start building up our flower and our card.
Lots of love coming through, lots of love for the papers, you know, the floral papers. You've got lots more in there as well, obviously florals and lots of different patterns in there, as we said, that you can use for all sorts of different occasions. And a lot of them, like Debbie's touched on, will work really nicely with the Easter collection as well. And lots of love for this demo coming through too.
Oh, nice. Well, it's nice when you've got a nice, simple die to use, because actually the building up is just fun. And you're going to love using this because it's just a really simple one to have. Well, there's a little one there. That's what I was saying about earlier. If you pop that into the middle section. Oh, I've put it back in the same colour. That's typical, isn't it? Let's pop that back out. Pop that in the peach one. There we go. So you can actually have a different colour stamen inside there. There we go. So all I'm going to do is put an edge around this piece here, which is going to go onto that white piece.
Yeah.
And then we're going to stick that whole thing onto the front of our card. So just like so. And then that one we can now stick on top. Now if you wanted to, you could make it 3D, you could put some foam pads on there. We're just going to keep that flat because we're going to make our flowers a bit more 3D. Make sure your card opens the right way. Pop that just there. You can see I've not done it central, I've done it just offset.
Yeah.
And this is a great way of using up your scraps as well. So pop that on there, then this will be the same. So this time I'm going to switch to my dotty tape pen, and we're going to just put our dots on the back there. So I'm just using a piece of card to go down onto, so I don't put all the dots, extra dots, onto my glass mat. And then just round to the rest. So once we've done that one, we can then start building up our bouquet. So we're just going to there we go. Because it will fit perfectly, because the piece in the middle is what we've cut out the piece underneath with.
Yeah.
So once you've done that, we've got our teacup. What I'm going to do with the teacup is actually use some 3D glue gel.
Okay.
This is really good, Ben, because you can actually manoeuvre it about, and if you've put it in a place that you don't really want it, you can then put it somewhere else. So all I'm going to do is put a nice big piece there, which is going to go, let me just bend that round.
Yeah,
right
it's a
in
great
the
alternative,
centre.
this, isn't it, to foam pads, especially, you know, if you're a little bit new to it all. Foam pads are a very quick stick, and if you've got it in the wrong place, can be then quite difficult to move the pad. But this allows you to, like you say, manoeuvre it around if it's not quite in the right place first go, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And then because we've put that nice big dollop of glue, we can literally just have those coming out there.
Oh, so you're just pushing it into the...
Just pushing that into
Yeah,
the
that's a
glue,
good
yes,
idea.
there.
Yeah.
So like so. And then we can just start putting our flowers down. And all I'm going to do is put just a little bit of glue on the ends. And these will just go wherever you want them to be.
Does that glue dry quite quickly then, the 3D
So
glue?
if you don't use too much, it doesn't take long to dry at all. And
Right.
in fact, it's touch dry within an hour.
Oh, okay.
So, but if you wanted it, what I would say is if you're sending it out or it's going anywhere, then I would say overnight, leave it overnight.
Yeah.
Or a good 12 hours before to make sure it's set properly. So pop those there. And then we're going to add some little leaves in as well. It's just a really cute little die set.
Yeah, very, very pretty card you made as well. And that's what I like about this, again, is, you know, we've seen some sort of quite quirky makes, and a lot of the stamps that you get in here are quite quirky as well, especially the, you know, the little teacups with the faces on. And then flip side of that, you've made something here which is, it almost looks like it's a different collection. Do you know what I mean? You've got the quirky and you've got the very, well, what you're doing here, very beautiful as well, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice, isn't it, that we have those different collections that we can do different things with.
I feel like you
really
could make a card for, you know, someone fun-loving and jokey, and maybe the kids with this, as you could, you know, make a card for your nan.
Yes. And if you're struggling, like me, trying to put this glue on, just use some tweezers.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't got them to hand, but yeah, just use tweezers to pick them up and pop them down with, and then you can start placing them exactly where you want them. think that will do for that one.
Yeah.
And then all I've done, Ben, is I've done some sentiments from those amazing sentiments that we got. So tea, a hug in a cup. I mean, how nice is that? And then obviously I thought that went really lovely with you're my bestie. You love that one, don't you? Really nice one.
That's one of the best sentiments, that actually.
It
best
certainly
tea.
is. Yeah, it's so lovely. So let's just grab some little foam pads to put on the back. And that's just going to hold that in position. So a couple more on there. And then we can place those onto here. And this is just a nice card to send to your bestie. Just to say you're thinking of them, or they've moved away and you don't see them very often. We've all got that friend that we'd love to see more of, but we just don't have the opportunity to all the time.
Life's just busy, isn't it, Debbie?
Life
I think?
is so busy. Absolutely.
So I was just messaging some of my friends the other day. I thought, oh, you know, for whatever reason, not spoke to them in months, but the weeks fly by. And as I say, this is a lovely collection just to, yeah, maybe invite someone over for a cup of tea or a coffee catch up.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. And then just that one on the edge there. And there we go, a nice simple card, but one that's going to look beautiful and be beautiful for anyone that has it. There we go.
There we go, we're done and dusted for another week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with you tomorrow. D-Rob is in the house. We've got a brilliant day lined up for you with the return of Monday Makers and one of my favourite shows, 60-minute deals returns as well. You need to be in on that show. 60 minutes to pick up the deals and then they will be gone. Do make sure as well that you're back to the normal times with us because we've put the clocks forward here in the UK. So we'll be with you for Wake Up Call tomorrow from midday, which is 7 a.m. if you're Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific time. So the times are back to normal. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a brilliant rest of your Sunday, whatever you're doing. And for now, thanks for watching.